Welcome to Retro Scale Modelling. This is part 4 of AMT's Star Wars Battle of Hoth action scene. And the action scene is from the movie Emperor Strikes Back, and the scale of the kit is 1 to 156. In this part, I'm going to be concentrating on the AA and X-Wing of the build. So I'm going to be painting in assembling the units first before doing the painting, and I'll also be doing some of the detailed painting on both vehicles as well. So let's jump into this and see how well I get on. Jumping right in here, and the location points here are a little bit too tight. I couldn't quite get the halves to fit properly, and so there with a bit of dry fitting they weren't going in, so I'm simply going to open these up by placing my knife in and just twisting it around to make the gap a little bit bigger. So just shaving off a little bit of the plastic in the inside. And this is why dry fitting is essential. I must apologise if you hear a sound of coming through the headphones. It's because I've got a Chinook flying above me at the moment. I live on a flight plan, and I occasionally see Chinooks and other military aircraft flying over. Anyway, back to the build. Once I open them up, press them the two parts in, then worked out a lot better. There is a little bit of seam work to take care of, but I will do that later on. This leg is meant to be off. It's part of the that's been destroyed. So if you're wondering what's happened to the leg, it's actually meant to be off and be like that. Next is to place the feet on, or they just get pushed on. They shouldn't have any cement in them because when you stand them up on your diorama, then you can alter the position how they stand. The legs themselves don't move, but the feet do, so it makes it a bit easier when you're placing it on the diorama. The head and neck part was easy enough to assemble, just the two halves. Onto the two upright ones now. So it's a similar construction, but this time I'm placing the feet on first, just because all four legs the space will get a bit tight in there, so it's better just to put them on now. The instructions say put them on afterwards, but I think it's better just to place them on now. The little part of plastic that came out of the bag on part 1, I discovered what that was for. It's a little guard on the leg, so I'm just reattaching it. I did actually manage to snap one off myself. I was placing the leg on, so I had two that came off. But it's an easy enough fix to put them together again. The head itself goes inside the body before closing it up. I don't think I showed you on the first one, but you can see the little lip or ridge line that sits in the body. Really don't need any cement on this area. It will get clamped in on its own once the body is two halves are pushed together. And now that the body is dry, I'm just sanding down the seam lines. There wasn't that many at the end, but some of them can be a little bit tricky to get into. So depending on what sandstick or pieces of paper you're using, you may have to vary in it. If it is too much, just take your knife and gently go over it, then go over it with a bit of sandpaper to smooth it down. Moving on to the X-Wing, there's only two parts to this, the top and bottom part. It goes in fairly well. You may need to trim up a little part here and there just for it to get tight fit, but you will definitely need a couple of clamps to hold everything in position. And once that's dry, I'm going to start masking up the X-Wing for the painting. Now, I was thinking about doing this freehand, but I want slightly sharper lines than I did on the cannons. So I'm going back to the old method of using masking tape. Now, this part is very small, and the masking tape pieces I'm putting on are tiny, so they take a long time to adjust and place on properly. But as with the snow speeders, I want as much detail as I can possibly get into the X-Wing. I'm just quickly going to go back to the art walker, and I'm placing on a coat of clear pledge polish or varnish. This is just to give me the drying time before I start painting and marking up the detail of the art, so that can be drying while I'm still working on the X-Wing. So it's back to the X-Wing, and first of all I'm using Revo Aqua 97, and this is for the R2 unit that sits behind the pilot. And then the windows is 07 black gloss Revo Aqua color, and then it's 30 orange Revo Aqua color for the orange flashes down the top part, well, the top side of the hull. This is because this is Luke Skywalker's X-Wing. So all I'm doing here is painting in between the masking tape. Then it's Revo Aqua color 31 fiery red. That's for the stripes down the leading edge of the X-Wing. And that's also for the flashes on top of the wing of the X-Wing as well. For the engine, it's 91 steel. That's just right at the rear I'm using this colour. And then it's 75 stone grey Revo Aqua colour for the canopy framework. Then it's back to R2, and it's Revo Aqua colour 51 ultramarine blue, and this is for the blue markings on the droid. And I'm just using, once more, a cocktail stick sharpened down to place this on. These are minute little details to go on this. And once it's all dried and the masking tape is off, I'll just touch up little areas if it needs, if I've got any paint, please. But overall, I'm quite satisfied with the results. So it's back to the and I'm going to start weathering this. So I'm going to be using Amos oil brushes and using Starship Filthier, and I'm just going to be making little dots with the pigment on it. Then after that, while it's still moist, well, wet, I'm taking a brush with a little bit of paint thinner on it, and I'll just be streaking this down like so to start making all the marks and blemishes on the actual art itself. I'm then going over to Tamiya's Weathering Master Series D, and I'm going to be using the burnt blue oil stain and the burnt red, all three here, to start making the scotch marks on the shell itself. Now it depends how much you want to do this. It's always up to the builder on this. Just do how you feel that it's going to look, and try and make it flow so it's all continuous. But the key thing is just build up the pigments as you go along. Start with the darker colours and go on to the lighter colours and try and blend them in a little bit. And you'll start seeing quite really good results if you use pigments like this. And then it's over to Tamiya's Weathering Master Series B, and I'm going to be using the suit and snow component. But first of all, the suit component, and I'm just rubbing that in where the markings are to give them a little bit more definition and depth of colour. And I'll just put the snow colour on just general areas to look like some snow, and the ground cover's gone on to the actual legs and body. So this is where I'll end part 4. If you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other builds? If you subscribe to the channel, please do so. Hit the notification bell, that way you'll be kept up to date, not only with this build, but all my other builds as well, of course. Hit the like button, don't be afraid to leave a comment, and of course you can share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.